And welcome to my kitchen. Caden is my very special guest today.
Hello.
And he chose the theme for the show, which is going to be
Escargot.
his favorite food. Hello everybody. We are going to have some fun today with Mr. Caden.
Hello.
Who is going to be my guest. It just so happens, yeah, there are lots of weird kids around. Caden's favorite food is escargot, snails. Tell me, how come?
Once my grandpa and my grandma told me people eat snails, and I didn't believe them, so my grandpa got snails, and then I tried them, and since then I like them.
Really? How cool is that? Aren't you fortunate your grandpa told you that?
Yep.
Very cool. So you
I'm
think you
happy
should
to.
you think you should just try everything at least once?
Yes.
Is there things you don't like?
No, not really.
No, you've been always, I've known you for a little while. You've been quite adventurous all your life. I remember you at 2 years of age eating olives. That's kind of unusual. Do you still like olives?
Yes.
Oh, good. I do too. So, we're going to cook for you today. We're going to make an escargot soup. Don't get too nervous if you're not into this little animal. We have an alternative. So anything I do with snails today, you're welcome to do with shrimp, which is going to be delicious too. And we'll do it parallel so you can see the outcome in both. We're going to make a nice creamy soup. We are going to have a pastry wrapped around escargot and vegetables and, of course, garlic butter, right?
Sounds delicious.
Doesn't it? And we're going to fill these little ramekins with a little filling with escargot or shrimp if you prefer. And put a little dough lid on top, butter pastry. And then we're going to try those two and decide which is our favorite. How's that?
Good.
Sound good? Okay, for the hard work. Actually, while I'm working away here, so you don't get bored, I know you're into greens too, so I made you a little salad.
Are these lychees?
They are lychees. You know lychees. How do you know lychees?
Same thing with my grandpa.
Oh, he must be pretty special, huh?
Yep.
Your grandma, I know, is a great cook, and so is your grandpa. And I know your mom bakes unbelievable, beautiful, delicious things. Is that enough dressing for you, or a little more? It's enough? If you want more, let me know.
Okay.
So enjoy that.
Thank you.
Here's a little plate for your shells. I love lychees too. That's really not fair. You get to eat, I get to work. So we're going to make a little more than we need for a one dish because we'll end up doing 3 different ones. Any soup really in my kitchen starts with onion. You cook too, don't you? You help your grandma, your mom, and your grandpa, your mom. What do you cook when you cook?
Mostly eggs.
Mostly eggs. Eggs are good. Oh, you have chickens.
Yes.
That's why I've tried those eggs too. Tell me about those chickens.
Chickens are amazing. That's one thing.
Are they? There's lots of kinds of chickens, isn't there?
Yeah, my favorite one is Blue Splash Moran.
Say that word again.
Blue Splash Moran.
Blue Splash Moran. Okay, let's hear about the chicken. Why is that your favorite?
They're really pretty. Their roosters are pretty big.
Yeah.
Probably a foot.
Really? That's pretty big for a little
High
chicken.
and long.
Yeah.
If not little.
Yeah.
Full blown, they're at least like this big.
And they lay eggs. So.
They're not roosters.
Okay, that makes sense. I knew that. That's about all I know about chicken, other than chicken breasts yummy, chicken legs are yummy. Do you actually eat the chickens you have? No.
No, but we eat the ducks.
You eat the ducks? Really?
We have a friend who does it for us.
Oh, okay. And that doesn't worry you? That's not a sad thing? No?
Oh yeah, it is a sad thing. That's why I'm never there. I only been there once.
But you eat them?
Yes.
That's good. I like that. Do they get names?
Yep.
Oh.
My chicken's name is Ruby.
Ruby?
My uncle gave it to me for my birthday. Funny story with her. My uncle used to work at Nickel Farms.
Right.
And
great place, by the way.
She has a sister, Ruby. Her name's Amber.
Yeah.
The sister. And then they were going to the slaughter, and they always hopped on my uncle's shoulder. And Ruby gives you hugs. She puts her wings.
No
on
way.
Her wings on her shoulder.
Really?
Yeah.
Special chickens.
So then my uncle decided to take them home.
Nice. Your uncle knows a lot about animals, doesn't he?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Do you recognize the veggies that I'm chopping here?
Yep.
Good.
Onions, garlic, and celery.
And this is hard to tell now because I chopped it all up. That's a little bit of fennel.
Mm-hmm.
I like fennel in with seafood or escargot quite a bit. Do you think that's enough? That's enough for now. We're going to save this. And for the filling in the little ramekins, on top of this, we're going to use mushrooms. Not too much because it's only going to be a couple of them. We'll do little taster portions, right?
Whoa.
We'll cut these in chunks because once we cook them, they look a lot smaller than they do now.
That was really good.
Is it good? You like it? Can you guess what's in the dressing? What do you taste?
Not much. It's really good.
Yeah, but nothing sticks out? Nothing stands out?
I'm not really good at tasting.
No, but you have good taste, I know, because you like interesting foods. We're going to put this in a fry pan now. Going to go over to the stove and saute these beautiful vegetables. So you were right. Onions, garlic, a little bit of fennel, a bit of celery, good base for a soup. The mushrooms will go in the filling with the ramekins, and this we're going to use for all the dishes that we're going to be making today. Start with a bit of olive oil, or a little more. Olive oil is good. Once that's nice and warm, if you hold your hand over it, you can feel if it's warm enough for your veggies to go in. And we'll just saute our vegetable for a few minutes. And then, because we're doing one escargot and one shrimp, we're going to split it in half in 2 pots and start our 2 soup bases. This will go in later, so we'll leave it here for now. And we'll continue on preparing for the rest. Good. So what do we want to do first? We'll do the messy job first. We're going to chop some snails. Escargot, we'll call them. Isn't that a prettier word than snails? Does it matter? It doesn't matter? No? Do you know which country likes escargot the most? Germany, and there's another one.
France?
France, right.
Are these from France?
They are, actually. They are. I bought them when I was in Paris a few weeks ago in a beautiful grocery store. It's called L'Épicerie, and it's one of the most beautiful stores I've ever seen. And I can talk to you about that because I know you'd enjoy that. You would actually love walking through their chocolate section, primarily. Unbelievable. Cakes and tarts and pastries and all just beautiful things. And of course, escargot.
Yay.
Nice produce. Yeah, that's almost worth a trip to Paris to see that. You should tell your grandma she should take you. What do you think? You should. She'll be all excited when she hears that. You think she's going to watch the show when you're on?
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay. Now, I promised for the non-escargot fans, we'll have shrimp. These are raw, deveined, shelled. I'll cut some of them in pieces, and we're going to leave just a few whole that we're going to use for decoration later. There we go. And we were talking about pastry, butter pastry. Now, if you're really ambitious, you can make your own butter pastry. I have to say I buy it frozen, and it's delicious. I couldn't make it any better than how I can buy it. since I'm not really a baker anyway. I'm not good at baking.
You're good at cooking.
Like your mom. I'm better at cooking than at baking, I admit that. So, this is our butter puff pastry. Doesn't really take much from here. What we need is, once we have our fillings prepared, we'll use this to cover those two, or actually those two. This is what we're going to eat the soup from. And we'll need a couple to make nice little, what do we call that? Bundles? Bundles?
Yes.
Is bundles a word?
Yes.
We'll do, how about 3?
Okay.
1, 2, 3. If I can get them to roll out for me just a touch, that'll be nice. This will save for the lids. So just that they turn a little more square. It'll make it easier for us to wrap the filling into it. I need a bigger kitchen, can you tell? Maybe moving wasn't such a good idea. We had more room in the other kitchen, didn't we?
Yep.
Yeah. So back to these animals. Tell me what other animals you have.
Snake.
You have a snake.
Yes.
What's his or her name?
Flash.
Flash.
It's a girl.
Is it dangerous?
It can eat a rattlesnake, and it's really
How big is that snake? Oh my God.
Taller than me, like a centimeter taller than me.
No way. And where do you keep it?
In a tank. And
Locked up?
Yeah.
So when I come to visit, it's not gonna eat me?
no.
No?
And the mouth can only go this wide.
Oh, okay.
But she's only this thick.
Is she?
Yeah.
I think I've seen her. She's quite pretty.
Black and white.
Yeah, she's quite pretty. We're gonna go back to the stove, add our shrimp and escargot into our 2 soup pots, and we'll get that going. I have a chicken broth and a seafood base broth that we're going to use for the shrimp and the escargot to make our soup. So let's do that.
Oh, it has a chicken on it.
So what we'll do here is just split our sautéed vegetables in 2, and I'm only doing this, of course, because we want to show the 2 options, escargot and shrimp, in some butter. Escargot, we'll use chicken broth, and the shrimp, we're going to use that fish foam. There you go. And as soon as we see the shrimp taking on some color, you see how they turn very quickly from grayish white to pink, the way we know them when they're cooked. As soon as they have that beautiful color, we're going to add the broth, and then we'll just let it simmer both for a little bit. See how that's turning already? All it takes is a couple of minutes, because we'll keep cooking those once the broth is on for a little while longer. Now here's an optional little yummy piece. Pernod Ricard, one of the anisettes, I like very much in shrimp, lobster, anything seafood related. So we can deglaze that just a touch with, I'm using Pernod. I wish you could smell that. Licorice, beautiful. I'll put just a little bit in it, and it'll flavor that soup just a little different. So So doesn't that look like the shrimp you know when you buy them already cooked? Perfect. We'll let the alcohol evaporate a little bit before we put the broth on. The escargot, they can cook for 3 or 4 minutes, and then we'll go back here and finish that soup. For the filling that will go into the ramekins, I'm adding a bit of olive oil to melted butter. Wait till that's nice and warm, medium hot. And all we need to do here is again saute some onions, garlic, and we'll add the mushrooms. And of course the escargot. And for those, we're going to leave them whole. How does that look? Beautiful. Some greens maybe. We'll add some chives into the mix. Chives go really well with mushrooms. Chives or fresh parsley. Beautiful. Do you like spicy?
Yes, I love it.
You do? Okay. In that case, just because I like you, I'm adding some, now I'm torn. I could add some cayenne or I could add some harissa. I think we're going to add some cayenne, yes. Just a touch. Just a touch.
I love cayenne.
You do?
Yeah.
Then let's add a couple of touches. How's that?
Good.
Good.
I have it on my eggs all the time.
You do? Well, this will reduce nicely and it'll turn into a nice thick little sauce, and then we can, once it's cooled down a little bit, we use that as our filling in the butter puff pastry. And you're going to help me make those. How's that?
Okie dokie.
Good. And for this, we only need 3. We're doing a lot of things at the same time here, so this is really hard, isn't it?
Well, for me, not really.
You're doing great. 1, 2, 3. This is going to fit over those. Do you know what you need to do when you bake something and you put a lid, like in a pie, when you put a lid on with pastry?
Air.
Air. You need a hole in the middle, don't you? Now you can do that with a little cookie cutter, or not. You can do by cutting a little cross or so. You can just go wild and do whatever you like. And just fold it back. Or if you want it to look beautiful, you get a round cookie cutter. I'm not so worried about it. So this is what we're going to do. Now, let's get our filling. Part of it is going to go in these ramekins. And keep in mind, for the non-escargot lovers, this could be shrimp with mushrooms or any vegetable you like. You can saute any vegetable you prefer. Now for those, I'm just going to put this on here. We'll do the same filling, just to give you some options. You don't need much. 2, 3. I think we can smell the mushrooms too, right? Mm-hmm. They have a very aromatic smell to them as well. There. So how are we going to bundle that?
If I were you, I'd just shut it.
Like that?
Yeah.
How about just like this?
Yeah.
Make it a little parcel?
Yeah.
How's that?
Beautiful.
Isn't it? How simple is that? And you could put anything in here, you know? When you cook with your mom and you want to do different hors d'oeuvres, appetizers, what else could you put in there? Plain vegetables, meats, chicken, beef, fish, fruit.
Yes, I was just
some, yeah.
Or something.
Oh, lychee. Would you like to eat some lychee? Have some more. Do you know how to open them? Go for it.
Okay.
Go for it. Just do it. There you go. Works like a charm. I've greased this a little bit. So these will bake in about 15 minutes. All we need is the pastry to go nice and golden brown. To help that, we'll brush them with a bit of egg yolk mixed with cream. Cream again. Cream is good.
Very good.
So this is all done. And for this dish, we only had enough for 2, so we'll put the dough on as a little lid. It'll eat so yummy. Can you imagine what that tastes like? You can.
Yes.
I'm pretty sure you can. Yeah, it'll be so yum. And the same thing, we'll put some egg wash on that as well. And they can all go off in the oven while we finish the 2 soups. And then it's tasting time. If it wasn't hot, it would be so much easier to handle. So the pastry turned out nice and crisp, and we're going to find out quickly if it really tastes good, because looking good is one thing, right? This is the shrimp. We're going to taste that. The escargot, it's good as is. We tasted it, right? It's very yummy. Look at that.
Yes.
Nice and creamy, not too thick. Good and fresh. Herbs, cream, butter, not bad. So, on that one, I'm going to put some whipped cream.
Yay.
Yeah, I know you like that. Just like so.
New thing.
And since I was lucky and I could grow some, this is, you're not going to believe it, this is seeds from France for baby arugula.
I love arugula.
Yeah, I know. So, I think I'm going to have you taste this first. It's hot, be careful, have a taster. So these 2 are done. These 2 we still have to, 4 we still have to taste. So now I want to hear your opinion on that escargot soup.
It's not okay, it's amazing.
It's not okay, it's amazing. You can come back, you're allowed. I like that. I love that you love it. So we should try, for our audience, the shrimp soup. You won't stop eating here. I'm going to have to take that from you. You're allowed to finish it, though. Here's a fresh spoon. Try the shrimp soup.
Okay.
Because you're the taster. We need your opinion, you know? Otherwise, people are just going to think I make this stuff up and it doesn't really taste good.
This one's not amazing, it's super amazing.
You know what? You're right. That little bit of Pernod makes all the difference. It's beautiful. Look at it. Creamy, shrimpy, herby, and a little bit of licorice to die for. It really is good. Which one first? Okay. Do you want me to cut it open? And then you just have to dig in. You mix the pastry with the filling, and there is your favorite escargots. Hot to touch. You have a napkin if you want to use that to help hold the ramekin. See how your filling turned out beautiful? Mushrooms, escargot. So use your fork, just go in there and make sure it's not too hot. Just don't want you to burn. Yes? And I'm going to cut one of those open in the meantime. Look what they look like inside. Hear that? Crunchy, crispy? Looking good, I would say. I'll taste this quickly. Yeah, I'd say that's a winner. You and I have to do that again.
Escargot is good too.
You like it? It's the same filling as in this, just a different format. This in a ramekin, this in a little bit of a bundle. Okay. Still have my mouth full. I'd like to say goodbye. I can't, because this is not polite. Thank you for watching. Caden, thank you for coming. What a pleasure.
Thank you for having me.
You are welcome. And you are very kind. You liked it all, and I want to see you eat it all too. Okay? Okay, let's do that. Let's see who's done first.